All right, folks, and welcome back into some more Rockies postseason action. We took care of the Braves, a little belt-to-ass tour, as they love to say, and we really took care of business. We are going up against rivals in the Arizona Diamondbacks. So let's check out what they got, and we know what they got. Corbin Carroll leads the pack. They've added in the offseason every year, it seems. This year is Kyle Tiller, Marco Luciano, before Josh Naylor. Obviously, the pitching staff is very revamped. Carroll, this year, another 150-plus game campaign. High home run totals, high doubles totals, high stolen base totals. He's just an absolute freak. Closing in on 300 career home runs and 400 career doubles and stolen bases. I'm sure there is a short list of players to do all that and what else he has done. You know, he has been 4+ WAR player mostly for his career, with some high sixes, sevens, a couple sevens as well, and 50. This is like Hall of Fame levels. 2 more years like he's had, and that's like a Hall of Fame WAR. So he is just an absolute freak of nature. You have Jake McCarthy added there. Again, he adds some more power speed elements to it. Marco Luciano, not exactly the quickest guy in the world, but he mashes back-to-back seasons over 35 home runs this year for his first year with the Diamondbacks. Ended a 5-win campaign, and these 2 years are what got him paid what he got paid. Kyle Tiller, one of the best catchers in the game, especially offensively, back-to-back 30 home run seasons. His first year in the desert went off without a hitch, and also had a 7.5 WAR season last year. Doesn't strike out a whole bunch, walks a good amount. Yeah, make it a 7 WAR season this year as well. Another reason why he got paid big bucks. Gabe Arias, really good against righties, not great against lefties. Josh Naylor, an overall well-rounded bat. We've seen him really do a number to us in the past. Struggled against lefties this year. Really struggled overall. OPS under 750. And you got Tommy Troy, who's finally kind of taken the reins as the go-to guy in Arizona over the last couple of years. Probably was hurt a little bit this year, but still, add some more power speed elements to things. And then Mariano Cortez, he got 5 games at the end of this year, and they'll trust him enough to be their center fielder against righties in these lineups. Again, another power, speed guy. This is how they've built their team: power and speed, and then kind of supplemented pieces here and there. Jonathan Hahn, he is their promising third base prospect who is up with the team. Drew Jones, again, continues to kind of not be fully supported here with the Diamondbacks. Does have a contract, is basically on their bench for about $9 million a season, which isn't ideal, I guess, for them. For me, it's awesome to see a team like that spend money that way. But really hasn't been given the reins other than that 1 year in 2028. Which the next year they won the World, or the year before they won the World Series, 2028 was the year we won the World Series and went through the Diamondbacks to do so. William Contreras continues to be one of the best lefty masters in the game, and he will play against lefties, and he's always a guy we have to watch out for. And then Ronnie Mauricio on the bench. Against left-hand hitting, they're going to stick with Kyle Tiller, obviously, with how good he's been. So Contreras, a guy that maybe we see in the DH spot, but they're giving that role to Ronnie Mauricio, which I don't get. Either way, I'm sure he's going to come out and do something. Basically, Arias goes to the bench against lefties. Mauricio goes to the DH, and Vidal Brujan, he goes to second base. Pitching staff, let's see what they have working with. Again, have added so much in free agency over the last few years. Brian Bayo, Hunter Brown, and Davy Garcia are the 3 we are guaranteed to see. Ryan Nelson and Ken LaBruce also there as well. Bayo this year, 24 starts, 2.95 ERA. He has been great since putting on the Diamondbacks uniform. Hunter Brown, he in the last couple of years, he can get up there in velocity. The worst year he's had so far, a 4.39 ERA, but still fantastic pitcher. David Garcia, his first year here, after kind of reforming himself and becoming that pitcher I think a lot of people thought he could. Definitely his best season in the big league so far. Ryan Nelson, we've seen him, has gotten the bulk of the starts He's been a fixture in the rotation the last 3 years. 3.58 ERA, his best season. And then Ken LaBruce has had 10 games total in his career, 5 basically the September call-up. And they're trusting him in the rotation, even though he has not been the best. Chris Paddock kind of got demoted to the bullpen earlier this year, his last year, on a very, very, very good contract and good stint here with Arizona. Blake Walston as well there. Armin Belanger, 65 games, 3.57 ERA. Robert Strange, we've seen him in the past couple of seasons be really, really good for them. He continued to be good. Evan Phillips, after back-to-back 40-plus save seasons, including almost a 50-save campaign, kind of got demoted to more middle relief to make way for guys like Abner Uribe, who has been an absolute dominant setup man this year. Lewis Cox, he's also been extremely great. And Ryan Weathers, former friend of the program, he's gone to this closer role and done nothing but dominate. 2.01 ERA, 48 saves his first full closer season. He has been impressive. And we have to go face off against these Diamondbacks here in Arizona. Let's see how this series unfolds. Back in the NLDS, and we are facing off against the Arizona Diamondbacks again in the postseason. It feels like every single year over the last 4 years we've ran up against the Snakes, and I think it might be every year except for last year. I think it was Pittsburgh, Philly, Cincinnati. So last year was the only year we did not face Arizona at one point or another. So we're very familiar with this team, obviously, by playing them 13-plus times a year, on top of all of the playoff series that we've had against them in the last couple of years. This is a team that sneakily has been improving every year. They always get a couple of the top flight free agents, whether it's the number one player, but usually it's more of those kind of second level guys. They'll get a few of them. And that's exactly who they'll have starting on the mound today. This is exactly the man who's dancing right now, a former Boston Battery now making its way to the desert. But we're ready. We're pumped. We, coming off the win against Atlanta, we feel real good. Our offense is in a real good spot. Our pitching has been doing exactly what it needs to do. And here we go. Brian Bayo, former Red Sox ace, now Arizona ace, 152 innings. Missed a few starts, but had a 2.95 ERA when he was healthy, and he will face off against Troy Wood, who has been excellent for us this year. First pitch he sees is a slider, middle, high, deep. It is out of here. First swing of the NLDS. And it is a home run. Troy Wood getting us started early, and hopefully this means we're going to get started often here. And Troy Wood, not known for his power too much. He can, sock a few dingers here and there, but that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful start for your Rockies here early on. Wyatt Langford, he gets a pitch down the middle, and he puts it into left field on the ground this time, but he is on base to keep the inning going. Hot start for your Colorado Rockies. Jazz Chisholm hit 250. And this one goes the other way. A couple of off-speed pitches left high and in smashable parts of the zone. And we have come across 3 of those pitches that have resulted in 3 different hits. Evan Russo, 1-2 count. This one finally chopped on the ground, and the Diamondbacks will get out of it as Marco Luciano puts it away. But Troy Wood does start the game off with a leadoff home run on the first pitch of the game. And the Rockies add 2 more hits there, no more runs, but it is 1-0. And a lead for Bud Leonard. This year it's been interesting. A 5.23 ERA, still gets the strikeouts, 11-11 record. We have decided to go forward with him as one of these long-term pieces. Of all the pitchers we have locked up, just him and Bobby White, our first 2 pitchers, or the first pitcher in each of the 2 drafts we have. And that's what we're going for. And he starts off with a double to Corbin Carroll. It seems like you get one of two Bud Leonards. The one that gets hit early, often out of the game, or the one who's locked in and is going to give you 7 scoreless innings with 11 strikeouts. Already not a great sign. Jake McCarthy lets the pitch go in the dirt. Russo blocks it, and Carroll, he is out. So Corbin Carroll trying to get real aggressive early in Evan Russo. We mentioned it before. We wanted to upgrade the offense of our catcher without sacrificing the defense at that position. Evan Russo just so happened to fall into our laps. We had to give up a premium to get him, but that is why you get that premium. He keeps base runner off third. Jake McCarthy, he goes up the middle, so still speed on the base pass. Until it is erased. Evan Russo, second runner thrown out. And 2 outs, both on the base paths for the D-backs. And Russo is, again, just proving his worth and then some. And Marco Luciano hits this high, deep to center field. Chisholm back, has plenty of room. That a half step before the warning track. That will be the final out. So, that backed in on a couple times. An extra base hit, eliminated by the trying to advance. 2 runners out on the base paths. You love to see it. Diego Tovar back up the middle. Sinker didn't quite get the bottom of the zone like it wanted to, and he is on first base as a reward. Sterling Thompson, he had one hit, a big one against Atlanta. I keep on calling him Arizona, and he unfortunately grounds into the 5-4-3 double play as just chopped down right to third base. And Luciano continues to flash the leather. Pick things up in the bottom of the 4th now. Jazz Chisholm will take a walk. The former Arizona farmhand will lead us off here in the 4th inning with a base on balls. Nolan Gorman 1-1 the count. 0 for 1 today. We saw his heroics in Game 2 against Atlanta. That goes up the middle. Chisholm thinking for about third, and he is going to be there sliding in safely. So there you go. Runners on the corners, no out for the bottom of our lineup. It brings up Tommy Domine. He's been pretty dominant. Gets a circle change down the middle, puts it into right field, and it is a 2-0 ball game with the Rockies on top, expanding their lead. Perfect. Exactly how we drew it up. Diego Tovar, circle change left high. This one is deep, and that one is way gone. See you later. 418 feet later, and Brian Bayo has let this one get a little bit out of hand early. Was this not 5-0 as Tovar touches them all? Yeah, he has not located. And that was some of the struggles early in Boston. As a Red Sox fan, I keep an eye on the Red Sox, and Bayo, it's the command, not the control, but the command. Just putting it where a pitch needs to be, and he's left a couple over the plate, just like that. Sinker, you can throw it with velocity. If you're going to throw it down the middle, it's going to get hit. Sterling Thompson racing around second base. He's digging for third base, just ahead of the tag, swimming around, and that is a triple for Sterling Thompson. And that is going to be it for Brian Bayo. Get the home run, then the triple back-to-back. That is going to be it for him. That is going to make way for Chris Paddock, one of the first free agent signings that spurred this run where they were doing a whole bunch of free agent signings. And he is now into the bullpen with some of the other moves they've made. And not the worst arm to have out there, I'll tell you that. Wood, left side of the infield, puts in a spot where he's going to reach base and drive in the run. So just put it exactly where it needed to be as the Colorado Rockies increase their lead. It's now 6-0 here in the top of the 4th. All started with a walk. Langford to Luciano, and again, a ground out to Marco Luciano at third base is what puts the inning away. A lot of work for the Diamondbacks to catch up. We'll see how much the Rockies can kind of keep them in their place. Luciano is going to hit this one in center field. It will bleed. And Chisholm on a 3-2 count, 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. will keep Luciano at first base. Later, Kyle Teal off the end of the bat, and that will be easy for Jazz to track down in center, and that will do it for the out. Still 6-0 Rockies leading the Diamondbacks as we end the fourth inning. Bottom 5 now, Gabriel Arias, the second baseman for the Snakes. He goes over the head of Domine. Langford goes to track it down, and that would be him in at first base with a leadoff single in the fifth inning. It's still down 6, have time, but they're getting dangerous into no turning back territory. Point no return, I like to call it, and that does not help. Domine gets Josh Naylor's ground ball, flips to the second, and then back to Bud Leonard. And that would do it for a double play to get him out of a little jam. And then Tommy Troy taking over that shortstop role. He gets blown by with the heat. Still down 6, Diamondbacks. It's getting dicey. Corbin Carroll back up in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs. He's going to slash it the other way, and very reminiscent to his first base hit. He's going to get a stand-up double out of it. Jake McCarthy pumps it into the ground. Thompson applies the tag to Corbin Carroll. And this is the Bud Leonard that I was talking about. We got the one. Didn't start out too great, too promising, but we got the Bud Leonard that's going to go out there and keep runners off base, strike guys out, and he's through 6 scoreless innings so far. He's been fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, Troy Wood going to get on to first base with another hit, his 3rd hit of the day. And we fast forward to 2 outs in the inning. Chisholm smokes a curveball into the dirt. Naylor on his belly to stop it, and then able to retreat in time to get to the bag. So it could have been a double, maybe even scored a run. But that's going to go down as an inning-ending ground out for the Rockies. Leonard back out on the mound. He's going to pop Arias up, and that might be his day. He's been 7 innings. This is exactly what the doctor ordered, exactly why we gave him his extension. We are betting we're going to see this version of Bud Leonard considerably more than the other version we were talking about before, and we were happy to open the checkbooks to make that happen. Harmon Belanger will make his way to the mound for the Diamondbacks. 65 games, a 3.57 ERA, and 85 2/3 innings pitched. A guy that can go a couple innings for him, and so far his 8th inning has been pretty fantastic until Tommy Domine splits the outfielders, and he will be running for a little bit, and he's going to stop at second base. Tommy Domine, a double with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Nico Tovar already a home run today, and he's going to chop this one back to the mound off the back of Belanger's. He turned around and let that ball go by him, but nicked him in the shoulder, and Armin will stay out there, a little sore on the arm, but for the most part, he's good, and he will let his teammates know and his coach know that we're chilling. We're all right. Sterling Thompson up the middle, can't beat Tommy Troy, so won't score the run. Diamondbacks to get out of the inning. Got a little choppy toward the end, but they keep the Rockies from scoring any more, and they already have. We are going to flip the switch to Aldo Lozano. He was real good for us in his first campaign in the big leagues. 130 innings and about 60 or so appearances. He's a guy that routinely goes multiple innings for us. Josh Naylor, however, welcomes him to the ball game and flips it over the shortstop Tovar's head, and he'll be on for a single. 2 outs later, we bring up Vidal Brujan and make it 3 outs later. Chisholm ranges over to his left and puts it out to end the inning. Lozano did real good there in his pitching performance. We'll see if he goes back out for another inning. Robert Strange is going to come out for the D-backs. 3.40 ERA guy, 39 innings, 8 holds, and a 1.34 whip. And his 9th inning going according to plan. 2 up, 2 down. Wyatt Langford gets a pitch down the middle. He does not miss. And much like the last inning, it's a 2-out double for the Rockies to keep the inning alive is Langford. He gets another base hit and adds to our team total. Chisholm 0-2 count and can't hold up on the fastball outside. That will do it for the 8th. Let's see what we have here. Corbin Carroll, Jake McCarthy, and others in this 9th inning. And Luciano, he's ended so many of our innings. It's appropriate he ends the game. Aldo Lozano gets 2 scoreless innings to keep this one a Rockies victory, as Colorado comes into Arizona, picks up a win in Game 1 of the NLDS. A couple more of these to go. And Bud Leonard came out here stunting. Troy Wood came out here stunting. A couple of hits, including a home run, the first pitch of the game. And that big 4th inning was what did it for us. Leonard, 7 innings, 4 strikeouts, but only 5 hits, no walks, no earned runs. Tovar really put a cap or the exclamation point in that 4th inning, bringing home 3 himself with the home run. And now we lead. And we're able to kind of let our pitching rotation get healthy, get rested. And here it is. Wood, 3 hits, 2 RBIs in 5 at-bats with a strikeout and a run. Wyatt Langford, 2 hits in his 5 tries. Tovar and Domine, multiple hits, including Tovar's home run. Domine and Langford each had doubles. Thompson had a triple, and then Troy Wood and Ezekiel Tovar with home runs, starting and bookending the scoring for us today. Domine, Wood, and Tovar each had RBIs. Sterling Thompson, a double play. And 2 innings of solid work from Lozano. 7 innings of fantastic ball from Bud Leonard. Moving over to Arizona, Corbin Carroll had his 2 doubles. But other than that, that was about it. No one else really did too much damage. Especially the bottom of that order, you see Tommy Troy, Mariano Cortez, and Vidal Brujan 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts combined. So they weren't getting anything from the bottom of their order, which is good. Brian Bayo, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Chris Paddock and Harmon Belanger and Robert Strange didn't give up a run, but the damage had already been done. We got to Bayo. We got to the race. Now let's get on to game number 2 in Arizona. Next day, we are back in the desert, and we're trying to add to our lead. And hey, let's get a clean sweep. Clean sweep Atlanta. Let's just not even lose a game during the playoffs. How about that? We can do that. That'd be fun. Let's just do that. Why not? And something we have yet to do in our World Series winning 2028 season. We took care of teams for the most part pretty handedly. In last year's playoffs, everything went 7 games. It went I think every series, except for the World Series, went the max possible games it could have been. So let's not do that here. It's going to be J.J. Rose against Hunter Brown here in a battle against some flamethrowers. Both of these guys can tick up the velocity, and we'll see if we get to Hunter Brown here today. Brown, a free agent signing from the Houston Astros a couple of seasons ago. We've faced him in the playoffs before. Now here we are in 2031 doing it again. 4.39 ERA, not the best of seasons for Hunter Brown. Definitely not as good as seasons we've seen him have before. But a 174 innings pitched. And again, that ERA a little bit higher than we're used to. Troy Wood, have yourself a series, my friend. It's only been 2 games, already 4 hits as he is into second base with a lead-off double. Shout out Troy Wood, again, doing exactly what we wanted him to do, replacing Stephen Kwan. Eventually moved over to third base, and then Wyatt Langford brings him home with a home run. You can't leave that filth over the plate. Wyatt Langford, his 3rd home run of the postseason, 439 feet, and he bullied that pitch. Absolutely cranked it. And that is well over the fence and well into the stands. And we have a 2-run lead just like that. Brown does strike out Nolan Gorman. Not before Wyatt Langford already putting a punctuation on inning number 1. And that gives a 2-run lead for J.J. Rose. This is the most perplexing season that we've seen through all of our pitchers here. And I think the overall concern for everybody was the numbers were just so high for everybody. And that's not reflecting on everybody. And J.J. Rose, for the most, he only pitched 150 innings because he was getting hit around, but a lot of the under-the-hood numbers suggest he was actually having a pretty good season. He gives out a leadoff walk, but then gets the next 3 batters to sit down in order. But, yeah, J.J. Rose, definitely the weirdest year out of everybody on the roster. Tommy Domine will not lead off the second inning, but will get on in the second inning early with a single with 1 out in the top of the frame. Brings up Sterling Thompson with 2 gone, 0-2 count in the top of the second, and he swings at the fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he will go down and keep this lead where it's at. Josh Naylor bloops it into left field over the glove of Ezekiel Tovar, so the first hit for the Diamondbacks, a little bit of a cheapie, but they'll take it, I guess. And Ani Mauricio, former top prospect from the Mets, had some injuries, wasn't quite developing the way he thought. They thought he was going to be the next stud. And he is now finding himself as a bench bat and hitting against lefties in Arizona on the ground, and that will be a double play. So back-to-back pitches, back-to-back results, and the better result coming there, that second pitch, getting the double play that we needed. And then 0-2 count, Tommy Troy up the middle, Tovar ranges over, flips the hips. He is good. He is so good, and that's why we pay him to be one of the best, if not the best, shortstop defender in all of the league. Adel Amador flicks this one the other way, and he makes his presence felt here in Arizona. Home run for Adel Amador. Had 2 against Atlanta. I believe 1 in each game. Had a pretty quiet game 1 of the NLDS, but game 2, he smacks a home run over the left field wall. You love to see it. Jazz Chisholm 0-2 count up the middle. Troy is there, and he flicks it on to first base, and that will do it for the inning. So Adel Amador gets us on the board again. It is 3-0 Rockies here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nothing happens there. Let's go to the top of the 4th. We get another home run. Evan Russo goes yard. He was a monster against Atlanta. He goes deep. The second time this postseason, he clears the fence between him, Langford, and Amador. Those 3 guys in 4 games already have, 8 home runs? Crazy. Crazy. We're just having a power surge. Ezekiel Tovar, 1-2 count, popped up on the infield, Naylor over. But, yeah, our offense is coming to play each and every day. That was kind of the middle of the season. It was, is the offense going to be able to do enough? And then you had the concerns with the pitching. It's really been a pitching-heavy team over the past few off seasons. Will the offense do enough? Towards the end of the season, we weren't getting really high run totals in games we were seeing. Now, all of a sudden, we are putting up 8-9 runs consistently on the board, and as well as getting real good pitching, and that's exactly what we needed. Marco Luciano, long single, 102 off the bat, and they have a runner in the 4th to work with. J.J. Rose against Kyle Teal, grounder to Domine, flicks to Tovar, back to Domine, and 2 of the best defenders at their position hook up for a inning-ending double play. You love to see it. And we keep the Diamondbacks from doing any damage. They've had a runner in what seems like every inning so far. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. Amador gets plunked with the slider. I don't think this was in retaliation for the home run, but they're going to take Hunter Brown out anyway. Blake Walston comes in, the lefty. 54 games, 134 innings, a former starter, turned reliever, at least for the current state of their bullpen needs. And with 3-2 count, Wyatt Langford keeps the inning alive with 2 outs. And they'll keep the runner Amador on second base. So you have 2 runners on, 2 outs. Jazz Chisholm 1-0 count. Hits it high and deep. Right field. Carroll going back, looking up, leaping. It's by him. Home run. Chisholm adds to the party. And it is now 7-0. Rockies in the lead, and we are entering the point of no return. The point of no return. Nolan Gorman squares this one up, but on a line to center field out there. And yeah, Jazz Chisholm, an absolute monster. 7 runs for the Rockies as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And I turn over to Rafael Parra. Rose had a high pitch count. He was doing well, obviously keeping runners from scoring as he didn't give up any runs. But high pitch count is the reason. And Rafael Parra comes in, has a real good inning for the Rockies. So we turn it over to the top of the 6th. Evan Russo, 1-2 count against Blake Walston. He goes deep. Another home run for Evan Russo. This one clears the right center field fence. His second home run of the day between Jazz Russo, Amador, and Langford. That's 11 home runs. 11 home runs in 4 games between those 4 players. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Drew Jones gets on the board, so we keep it a 7-run game as Parra hangs a slider. Again, Rafael Parra hasn't been the best of pitchers for us in the playoffs, and they keep going to him. And I don't get it. Like, we have a real good bullpen. I don't think you need to keep using Parra, but Coach, our manager continues to go his way, and he continues to get hit. It's a home run by Drew Jones, a home run by Corbin Carroll, and now all of a sudden the Diamondbacks score their first 2 runs of the series on home runs against Rafael Parra in the same inning. Just don't get the move to him. I just don't. And now later in the inning, traffic on the base paths. Josh Naylor puts it in the gap, and all of a sudden we had an 8-run lead. Now it's going to look like 4. And Parra still out there, and I don't know if he's going to be coming out anytime soon. He should come out right now. Will they take him out? Who knows? But Naylor splits the left center field gap, gets it to the wall, and brings 2 in, and 4 runs in the inning for the Diamondbacks. And that's finally going to be it. We're going to bring in Marco Garcia, another guy who's good and has pitched well, but you have great relievers that can give you nasty stuff for an inning or 2, and I think that's what we need here. Tommy Troy, 3-2 count. He swings at the fastball, can't catch up to it. We do get out of the inning, but tough go for Rafael Parra, and just another tough go for the coaching staff. Keep going to him. Evan Phillips, former closer, now high leverage reliever. He's going to come in. He was twice named the reliever of the year, both in the National League, both while playing for the Miami Marlins. And Wyatt Langford will welcome into the game with a comebacker up the middle that gets through the infield into center. So Langford starts off at first base. Jazz Chisholm 1 for 3 on the day with that home run, and he's going to get plunked. And some action on the base paths for Colorado. Nolan Gorman 0 for 3 today. Ground ball to Naylor, and that's going to be a double play. So Gorman can't make up for the 2, or can't do any more damage to Phillips and punish him for giving up 2 leadoff base runners, but is what it is. Evan Russo, a 2 for 3 day with 2 home runs. Pretty good if you ask me. He goes up the box, and that will get through for another RBI. So Russo add some insurance that we desperately needed because who the hell knows we're going to have pitching out there. Your grandma could be asked to go pitch the ninth. It seems some of these decisions being made. And it's now 9-4. Tommy Domine up the middle this time, hit weaker and hit more towards Tommy Troy than Evan Russo's ground ball. And that will do it for the inning. So Russo goes yard earlier twice, and now this time continues to add RBI swings to his resume. And puts it up the middle for an RBI single. Garcia out there. Jones had a home runner earlier, and this one dies right in front of Tommy Troy. They'll have a base runner on in the 7th. So action still continuing to happen for Arizona. Jake McCarthy, he goes down. He swings this one over to second base and can't get to first in time, as that will do it for the inning. So we stick at a 5-run ball game. Armin Belanger had a clean inning against us yesterday. He comes back out, tries to get another clean inning if he can. 1 inning pitched. He did give up a hit. It came comebacker off his shoulder, and this time gives the hit up to Sterling Thompson. The bottom of the lineup turns over, and Thompson on first base with 1 out in the 8th inning. Trying just to add some more insurance if we can. No lead is safe enough, especially in the playoffs, especially deeper in the playoffs when you have the better teams still alive. So we'll take some more if we can get it. Troy Wood in left field. That's a base hit. 2 on, 1 out for the Rockies. It's Colorado again continuing to threat, continuing to try to add. Let's see if they can. Wyatt Langford, 3 for 4 today. Hit high and deep. Center field. Jones a couple feet from the warning track will put it away, and that will do it. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Still a 5-run lead for the Rockies, so still comfortable where they're at, but could add more. And love to add more right now. We got a jam for Marco Garcia. Bottom 8, gets the swing and miss, elevates the fastball. Troy, tantalized by it, enticed by it. He cannot catch up, and that keeps the game at 5. Heading into the 9th. Chisholm lays into this pitch, goes left field with it, and that clears the wall. Another home run for Jazz Chisholm. Add another one to that number. All 4 of Russo, Amador, Langford, and Chisholm each have 3 home runs through 4 postseason games. You're getting it from everybody. Chisholm, this one, a line drive left field, like as deep as you can hit it with that trajectory that still goes over. It was perfect hit. Gorman on second base, and Tovar will try to drive him in. Jones comes up firing, offline throw, and Gorman touches home plate. It's 11-4 now. And that's exactly what we needed. Try to deaden the Snakes here. Robert Strange out there. Now Abner Uribe in, and he gets Troy Wood to pop up. Second base, Vidal Brujan is under it. And there you go. So we add a couple. Increase our lead. Brock Burke, can you shut it down for me, big fella? Well, he said, hey, dog, no problemo. 2-2 count. Bottom 9, Jake McCarthy. See ya later. Gets him on the swinging strikeout, and that will do it for the second game of the National League Divisional Series. We take the 2-0 series lead. One more back home. Can we do it? And put Colorado back in the NLCS for the 3rd time in 4 years. Again, looking for that dynasty. Yeah, looking for that dynasty if we can get it. 11-4, we win. Rafael Parra gets the win. He shouldn't. He should be expelled. Do we take Parra off the postseason roster? Maybe. 2 hits for Troy. Basically, everyone got a hit. You had about 5 guys get multiple hits. Wood with 2, Langford with 3, Chisholm with 2, Russo with 3, and Sterling Thompson with 3 hits. 17 hits for Colorado. Doubles by Wood and Gorman. Home runs by Russo. He had 2. Jazz had 2, Langford and Amador, and then RBIs galore by everybody. J.J. Rose, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. Parra, 1 1/3, 4 earned. Garcia, 2 2/3, 3 strikeouts. And Brock Burke gave up 1 hit, got a strikeout in his 1 inning of work. 10 hits for Arizona, 4 runs put up, so a good day in the office, just not as good when you're trailing most of this game. Corbin Carroll, a double. Not Josh Naylor, a double. Tommy Troy, a double. Home runs by Carroll and Drew Jones. They each had solo shots, and then Josh Naylor had the 2 RBI double, all coming in that, 4th inning, 5th inning? Or 6th inning? One of those innings. All came in 1 inning. Hunter Brown, 5 earned in 4 2/3. Blake Walston gave up a 3-run home run, or he gave up 3 runs in a third of an inning, and then a whole bunch of other people got in. Paddock, Phillips, Belanger, Strange, and Uribe, with varying results. Back in the Mile High City as we try to end this series early. Let's go home, man. Let's go home. We are home, technically. But let's send them home. How about that? So we're back in Colorado. All we got to do is win 1 more. The Diamondbacks have to come back and win 3 in a row if they want to put us away. But I'd rather they didn't, if we're being honest. I'd rather they didn't just roll over and die. We'll see if they do just that. But sunny Colorado here in the afternoon. Some baseball being played. We had 6 runs and 1 by 6 in Game 1. 11 runs, 1 by 7 in Game 2. Corbin Carroll, he looks ready to go. He always is ready to go. We got Bobby Blanco. Bobby Blank checks. Walter White, if you will. Heisenberg. Bobby White on the bump. Our ace. Our guy. Maybe the best pitcher in Colorado Rockies history. I think any of these guys on the roster can take that claim. There's not too many people on the list. And White is one of them. 1-0 record, 6 innings, 3 earned, 3 ERA, 5 strikeouts in his first go-around against Atlanta. We'll see what he does against Arizona here. Again, he has such a great resume. Not too many blips on his postseason radar in terms of bad performances. Corbin Carroll just continues to kind of eat. He's hitting like 500 this season. Or this postseason series, and in his couple of games against us, he really has been a thorn in our side. Marco Luciano will take a strike, and Carroll will swipe second base and put a runner in scoring position for Luciano. You look at that, it's 21 miles per hour on the max speed, all the nerd stuff. Luciano eventually goes down, and Kyle Teal cannot bring the runner home as Domine swallows it up into his belly button and makes the grab for the final out of the innings. Bobby White gives a single, then a stolen base, but that is about it. And we still remain tied going in the bottom of the first. Davy Garcia is up, a guy that I remember when Yankees fans were like, this guy's going to be Pedro Martinez, but like way better. And I kind of started believing it. I kind of liked Davy Garcia on the outside, but he just never became the pitcher they thought, the pitcher that was promised, they called him, and he just never became that. Kind of bounced around a bit. Now, giving up base hits to Troy Wood in the playoffs. Love to see it. Wood's going to stay at first base. Lead off single for our rookie. Adele Amador, 3-1 the count. He chops it over to first base. Naylor, one of the better fielders at the position, is going to turn 2 with his shortstop teammate Tommy Troy. And came in on the pitch, flicks it. Look at that. Just great control by both him and Troy. And then Wyatt Langford bloops it into right field, keeps the inning alive. And 2 down, 1 on. Langford, another hit. He continues to mash the baseball. Jazz Chisholm can't catch or misses the circle change, rather, and he goes down. So both teams have some base runners. Both teams pick up a hit or two, but nothing comes of it. Josh Naylor, high dominate. It seems like he has been a hit machine as well. Again, Diamondbacks haven't really been lacking offense. I mean, they did not score in game 1, but they got a few hits. And 4-run performance with 10 hits last game. But it just hasn't been even close to the production the Rockies have done. So it's not like they've been playing real bad. We've just been playing real good. Tommy Troy will get the first one on the board with a single to left field. And then if the throw was on line, they get Naylor, but throw up the first base line a bit. And Russo can't collect it and get back to the home plate in time. And Mariano Cortez, a rookie that's come up to this playoff series, they felt he was ready enough and more deserving than some other players on their roster. So he's collecting his first career base hits and stuff in the playoffs here. Then White loses Brujan, and now bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the second. And that brings up Corbin Carroll, who's been absolute nightmare fuel. And he continues to be. Cranks it right center field off the base of the wall. And that's going to clear the bases. It is 4-0 Arizona early against Bobby White. And a triple, bases clearing triple for Corbin Carroll. Crushes this pitch that was left middle. And you know Corbin Carroll has power, has speed to burn. Just an absolute freak of nature in baseball. Jake McCarthy pounces on this pitch, sends it to deep center field. Be plenty enough for Corbin Carroll to score. He could probably shuffle backwards and make it in time, as he was already kind of pulling up and out of frame by the time the ball got there with two guys with two strong arms. And McCarthy makes it a 5-0 ball game. Colorado down early. Luciano will end it with a fly out to Chisholm in center field. But Colorado, they put up more than 5 runs in each of the first 2 games, or each game they've played this postseason. Can they do it again and come back against Arizona? They have a lot of time to do so. Russo, 105 off the bat. Prepare for liftoff. Coors cranked it 403 feet. 4th home run in 5 postseason games for Evan Russo. I mean, that quartet we've been talking about have just been out of their mind. And Russo, no exception. He has been quite good. Only thing we did there in that inning, however, and then top 3, Kyle Teal. And that's going to bleed down for a base hit. Wood fires it in, keeps Teal to a single, but a base runner, leadoff base runner for Arizona nonetheless. The former catcher from Boston, probably the best catcher in the league, or one of them at least, on first base. Gabriel Arias grounds out to a double play as Tovar spins it with help from Amador. And that's 2 out, twin killing. And Naylor waves the 12-6 out of the zone, and that will be the final out for Arizona. So 5-1 Diamondbacks. Just continuing to be good at baseball. Good for them. Wyatt Langford, this one's cranked. This one's hit well. Left center field, and Langford goes yard. Coors, a 450-foot blast. His 4th home run. So 2 of our newbies that we did not have last year on the squad making the postseason names for themselves and doing everything and then some. Again, we lose Nolan Jones, has been a postseason hero for us, and we basically double that production with those 2. Russo already 1 for 1 with the homer. This one does not get by Luciano. He twirls a gem of a double play to get them out of the 4th inning. But Wyatt Langford makes himself known. He is here. Cranked a homer off Garcia. 2 solo shots. Would love to have runners on base and cutting this lead more, but it is what it is. And speaking of it, what it is, Rafael Parra in the game. Okay, 1 1/3 innings pitched, 27 ERA. Would love to not have him out here, but whatever. So far, good. And Luciano ruins it. So base hit up the middle. We have a runner on. 2 outs in the inning. Kyle Teal up, trying to add on to Arizona's lead. Colorado just asking him not do that, and he'll listen. All right, Colorado gets it. Jonathan Thompson over to second base, and that will be the inning. So Parra comes up, makes me cry a little bit, but doesn't make me want to die. So good, good for him. And it's still 5-2, however. Brings up Tommy Domine in the bottom of the 5th. 1-2 count. Garcia delivers. Domine also does. Right side, slices it to right field. Corbin Carroll there to get it. But we have a leadoff base runner in Tommy Domine. Ezekiel Tovar 0 for 1 on the day, but he has been known for his heroics. But another double play ball. I think this is like our 3rd or 4th we've ground into today, and it's killed a lot of our momentum. And some of those home runs maybe are better without us, eliminating base runners so willy-nilly like that. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Thompson draws the walk. He's on first base in this 5th inning. And that'll be it for Garcia. Blake Walston will trot in. He get 3 runs in 1 inning. A third of an innings pitched when he came in. I believe gave up that 3-run home run earlier in game number 1 or 2? Earlier. I don't know. Does get Wood to ground out, and that will do it for the inning. So still nothing coming of Rockies offense. They're putting numbers on the board, just not the right number in the right spot on the board. Arias slicing and fair ball down the right field line. Langford runs all the way over to the 350 mark to pick it up, and Amador will watch his second base counterpart get into second with a double. Later on, Naylor by Domine. Langford picks it up, turns, fires home. Domine cuts it off, and good thing he did. Runners on the corners. So Naylor continues to do real well. Mariano Cortez, a ground ball here would do wonders for Parra and the Rockies. Will they get it? There's the ground ball they need. Amador shoveled to Tovar. Over to first base, safe. Cortez can run. Reason why he made this postseason roster. He has that skill as a speed demon. And that is all they needed to score the run and keep the inning going. Later on, runners on the corners again. Corbin Carroll this time fooled on the sweeper in on Carroll's thighs. And he swings and misses over the top, ending the inning. Kyle Teal, glad Parra's back out there because he goes yard, and that might be the dagger. Just everything coming up Arizona here. Nothing that we did today really mounted into anything. Don't think we had a poor game, but situational hitting, right? We talk about that a lot as Arias pimps one, and yeah, he deserved it. Is what it is. Parra gives up some more runs, and I don't know. Not the best, not the biggest fan of using him 470 feet. But we're talking about situational hitting all the time, and you can get hits, cool, but if you're not getting hits in the right spots, seems like we were doing that the first couple of games, and now in situations to keep innings going or advanced base runners, we were grounding in double plays, striking out when we couldn't afford it, and it just did not go our way. Sterling Thompson fittingly pops pitch up to third base to end it, and that will do it for today. Arizona wins. They stay alive, and we now, again, still just need one more to beat the Diamondbacks. And we're going to be at home tomorrow to try to see if we can do it. If not, we have to go back to Arizona. I just don't want to go back to Arizona. Anything can happen in those winner-go-home games, those end of the series games. You want to wrap this up as quickly as you can. Let's try to do that. Let's just go up there and win tomorrow. But today was not our day. A tough outing for Bobby White, and then the offense just couldn't string things together and roll enough in a row to do what we needed to do in this one. We do drop this one to Arizona. Let's check out the box score, and I'll show you what I mean. Situational hitting. We had 9 hits today. I mean, we'll start with Arizona first. 2 hits for Corbin Carroll. He's an absolute stud. Teal, Arias, and Naylor in the middle of that lineup. They did a lot of damage. Arias, a double, along with Josh Naylor. Corbin Carroll, that bases clearing triple. And then Teal and Arias later in the game putting some daggers in us with those home runs. Carroll, 3 RBIs, and then a bunch sprinkled around as well. Stolen base by McCarthy, and 2 from Mariano Cortez. He was a nightmare to deal with today. David Garcia, 4 2/3, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. Blake Walston, 1 earned in 3 innings. And then Harmon Belanger finished it off, got the last 4 outs. 2 hits from Wood, 2 hits from Langford, 2 hits from Domine, home run for Russo and Domine, but it just didn't come at the right spots. And that's an offensive profile, just like Arizona yesterday, or 2 days ago in Game 2. Had a really good offensive profile. They didn't come up with a win. We share that fate. Rafael Parra just not getting the job done. I don't know why we keep going to him. But yeah, we used 5 pitchers today. Didn't get the best efforts from White or Parra. And at the end, didn't really matter. But we're looking forward to tomorrow, try to close this thing out. So after the first 3 games against Arizona, we have 2 big wins and then 1 big loss. James Mora goes tomorrow night, and then we got Bud Leonard all hands on deck against Brian Bayo on Friday, if we get there. But I think we got to get this one done, get it over with. If you check in on the other series right now, Tampa Bay up 2-0 against Baltimore. Cleveland and LA tied at 1. Miami and Pittsburgh. Miami's in our situation. They had the wild card team trying to win against Pittsburgh and move on. And that's the case. We still are the lower seed left in the NL. So we'll see what happens tomorrow in the elimination game against Arizona. Game 5 if necessary. I don't want to do it. Let's just get this thing over with. We'll see you next time here with more Colorado Rockies baseball.